Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday. We are back yet again for another Apple event. They have just been spitting these things out left and right, although I do believe this is the last one of the year, and this is their One More Thing event, where presumably they're going to be talking about Apple Silicon today, specifically their release, either order or pre-order, of one of their Macs. They had said prior that they're trying to move the entirety of the Mac lineup to their own chips over the course of the next 2 years, but before the end of the year, they promised there would be something available. We are assuming that that's going to be a MacBook. I guess we don't know for sure, but we're going to be finding out today. I got my friends joining me as usual. We're going to watch this and see what's coming.
Oh, is it starting?
Yeah. But this is copyrighted music, so this part ain't going to be in the video.
How are y'all? Y'all good?
All right. I'm better than the Apple campus, which is apparently experiencing some sort of disaster.
The aliens have come.
Oh my God, those are doors? Jesus. Is this just a big Apple store?
I mean,
I knew it. It was a UFO. It's a UFO this whole time.
I mean, it's seeming likely.
Contractors built it, but no, it was already made by aliens and it just landed. Conspiracy confirmed.
I'm Tim Cook, and welcome to Area 51.
Hello, and welcome back.
To our other viewers, Glip, glorp, norb.
It's amazing to think that this is our and the stunning and versatile new iPad Air.
Our most affordable and popular iPad.
Those are different things, Dan.
One more thing.
He said the line.
It's like in a movie when they say the name of the movie and you're like, ah!
Say the line, Bart. I'm on the third floor now, inexplicably.
I teleported. Glip, glorp, knob.
I'm not convinced that's what their basements actually look like.
Go down to basement 6, blue basement.
I've been stuck here. Please help.
The air is very thin. I am dying.
With the incredible performance, custom technologies, and industry-leading power efficiency of Apple.
Yep, that's definitely why. Not because it's good to have a completely integrated chain for business purposes.
Shh. Now let's get started by spending a few minutes on a deep dive into this new chip with Johnny.
We're turning you into an electron so you can go inside the chip.
Magic school bus, magic school bus. There's a lot of information here that, like, might be good. I don't know anything about it. They're talking about, like, it sounds good, but do other things do this? I don't know.
Basically, they're taking a lot of the stuff they learned from making iPhones high performance and also good for battery life, and taking it to presumably long battery lasting laptops. Yeah. So.
You don't need numbers. Just look at the lines.
I mean,
see that the lines are better?
For what it's worth, the numbers would be lost on me. They could put any numbers, any amount of digits.
I mean, I will be interested to see when the sort of people who can really tear into architectures and stuff like that get the chance to tear into these numbers to see what the actual results are. Because when you're doing, when you're comparing their Apple Silicon chips and iPhone, it's hard to do equivalent comparisons because only iPhones have Apple Silicon and all iPhones have Apple Silicon.
Yeah.
But they'll be able to do a fairly similar comparison between the new laptop and other laptops, or even just the previous Intel model.
Mm-hmm.
And get a lot more
legit data,
interesting data faster. Yeah.
Also, I just had to point out that he looks a lot like Christopher Walken in the face.
Yeah.
Put that up there.
Yeah, he does.
The Mac has never had a chip upgrade this profound.
What?
Also, were we Spider-Man briefly? Because we were on the ceiling. My giant friend, who barely fits in this room, is going to help assist me.
Steven is here.
I'm so excited about what this means for the platform.
More money. I mean,
the point they're making here is that a lot of the optimizations in chip design these days come from figuring out how things are done and doing them faster rather than, raw speed increases.
Optimizations.
Like chips today have instructions for, like low-level instructions for specific JavaScript instructions. Like that's the level that we're getting to. So the fact that they can, okay, this is weird. The fact that they can all in one building, say.
What was that?
Go from top to bottom. It's a big deal. I'm trying to forget about it, honestly, man.
Sorry.
That vision's burned into my
don't want to think about that every time Craig's face pops up 3 times a year for the next however many years.
I mean, if it was going to be anyone, it was going to be Craig.
Not wrong.
We built macOS on Apple Silicon to use the same data formats for things like video decode, GPU, and display. So there's no need for expensive copying or translation.
Right, this stuff he's talking about, it's actually a big deal.
Or performance-intensive tasks, like playing a game.
Like playing a game at 25 FPS.
Yeah, that's not the best example.
Yeah.
Also, when we talk about 3D rendering, no one's doing 3D rendering on their MacBook Air, Craig.
No.
And Final Cut Pro can fly through tasks like rendering a complex timeline up to 6 times faster.
It's a lot of times.
Yeah,
See,
that's significant.
Well, that's probably a comparison from the previous MacBook Air to the new MacBook Air. So
Sure, yeah.
I'm just assuming that this is a new MacBook Air, but
I mean, it's a good guess. The rumors have pointed to the fact that we're getting a MacBook today and an iMac in early spring.
you're just in time. They found a new Rosetta Stone. It's amazing.
Wait, Universal Apps?
Yeah.
Are they making UWP for Mac?
No, it's under Rosetta. I don't know if you remember the last time they transitioned architectures, but they had this Rosetta thing where you could bundle one app could work on either PowerPC or Intel, and they're just doing that again for Intel or Apple Silicon.
So it's not like UWP where it's like you can use this on Windows 10 or Windows Phone or Zune.
No, it's the opposite sort of thing. It's
just the architecture of the app.
Yeah, it'll work on any this executable will work on any Mac OS, whether it's Apple Silicon or Intel. Which is nice. You know, they did it last time they changed architectures. They're doing it this time. It's good. It's easier for developers, easier for users.
There are some operations which are really quite remarkable. Select object. We've seen
those feet.
Up to 8 times faster. We can travel
They don't want you to
stretchy
look.
feet.
Don't look at the feet.
3 times the cost.
I'm Brian O'Neill Hughes, here to introduce Photoshop Foot Stretcher. Our great new algorithms run 1.2 times faster on Apple Silicon. So I'm picking up that, I guess, a lot of the hardware accelerated things that like the iPhones do with the cameras and the image processing and all of that is now going to be part of the desktop chip because they're rolling their manufacturing process and their chip design into.
I mean, it certainly could. They haven't mentioned anything like that yet, but it certainly could.
Well, they're talking about Photoshop processing being faster and stuff, and all this webcam image processing stuff. Are they doing the same thing again?
Oh yeah, we're having some wild transitions.
We're going through the sewers.
Oh, before we went through the basement, 6 layers, and every basement was a different color of the rainbow.
What is that? What is that reservoir at Apple HQ? Do they make snow?
Honestly?
Is it for their hydroelectric dam?
We don't know. Only one person lives here, just Tim Cook. That's it. This is his house.
He keeps this guy in the basement. It's floating.
All new Apple products will float.
They will disable gravity.
We'll be selling you Apple straps.
Whoa.
MacBook Air, yeah.
But are they going to make all their computers have the same CPU form factor where everything's miniaturized?
One would assume not. That doesn't make any sense for the Mac Pro or anything.
Is the Mac Pro going to be just a little deck of playing cards?
Seems unlikely.
Remember when they made the trash can and all of the pros were like, we have PCIe cards, and they were like, oh yeah, we forgot. It'd be really bad if like they went back to that.
You were right, Chaz, when you said last time they tend to be very vague and hand wavy in general with their
Right.
marketing of specs.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, like, the MacBook Air is the easy gain for Apple Silicon because this was always the toughest thing for the Intel chip with the onboard graphics to compete against, and it's the closest thing that's it's the thing that's closest to the iPad that's their technical strong suit. So
Yeah.
the Air was always going to be the easy win here. It's when it comes to the iMac or the Mac Pro, it's going to be more interesting to see what their silicon can do compared to Intel. So we were talking before you got on, they still have the graphics integrated on the chip, and obviously that's not going to cut it for the high-end iMac or the Mac Pro.
Now, on
Yeah.
the MacBook Air, is the battery user serviceable?
Have you learned nothing?
6 hours more. That makes a total of 7 hours.
I don't know what the battery life was on a MacBook Air, but adding 6 hours does seem substantial.
Yeah, it's a lot. Well, I mean, like, this is the big gain, right?
Yeah.
They have 10 years of designing processors for, better battery life, and that's not been. I mean, certainly Intel cares about that, but that's not been the only thing they've cared about, and it has been the only thing that Apple Silicon has cared about for 10 years.
It seems like they're saying the webcam's going to be good. That's always been a thing, man, where you buy a laptop for $3,000 and it has a crappy, grainy-ass 720p webcam from 20 years ago.
The iMac that I bought in August was the first iMac Apple has ever released with a 1080p face cam. And I was like, okay.
I mean, the old Air started at $1,000, and the new one does too.
A huge increase in battery life. And at the same time, we pulled out the fan. That's just nuts.
We're crazy.
Crazy, John. Unnecessary rotation.
Oh,
They
look at
do
that.
have another one.
Okay. Sure. I didn't expect them to do anything beyond the MacBook.
This was also just updated in March.
Here's Julie.
Everyone that bought in March going,
These transitions are so corny.
Dude, I told
It's
you.
like the
glorp,
star
glorp
wipe.
knob.
The star wipe of our generation. Yes. The $1,000 Mac Mini paired with your $30,000 Apple Cinema display.
If you compare Mac Mini to the top selling PC desktop in its price range,
Of course, they picked the ugliest possible PC case.
1/10 the size. And yet, it's up to 5 times faster.
Give it a few years, these videos are just going to be Tim Cook walking out and saying 5 times. And then that's the end of it. The number you've been waiting for is 5.
We put a fan in this one. Don't ask why.
Including the Pro Display XDR at a full 6K resolution.
Did she say 6K?
yep.
Yeah, it's their.
What?
They
Oh, that's-
sell a
that's
6K
their-
display.
Yeah,
Because they're all into the super high density displays, right?
it's a good price point.
That's $100 lower than the
I mean, you probably get like half a gig of storage at that price point, but
Yeah. I mean, if something ever happened to my parents' MacBook, I'd probably get them a Mac Mini.
That performance is so good that it's also an excellent choice for another one of our most popular Macs.
Oh,
the
wow.
perfect Mac for many creative pros.
really, already.
I'm impressed. I'm curious if all of these are going to be available today or to pre-order today, or if they're just like one is available and they're announcing the other ones.
This is a lot sooner than I expected this. So they already think they're good enough that the improvement over what they've got in the MacBook Pro is good enough to go with it now.
They just updated MacBook Pro, right? This year?
May, yeah.
Jesus.
There are a lot of people that work on 13-inch MacBook Pros, like, professionally.
Mhm.
And if they really, if once the viewers get a hold of it, if the numbers are really that much better already, that's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the GPU improvements, if big if true. If they're really 5 times faster, like it's a pretty big leap for people working on anything graphics intensive on a laptop, because it's like integrated graphics, but not terrible.
Right. I mean, they're claiming battery performance is almost doubled in standard situations. That's a big claim.
I mean, I guess that would be one of the main benefits of the lower voltage, more power efficient CPUs.
On the current MacBook Pro, if I'm like editing or transcoding something, it will die in 2.5 hours.
Calling your machine the current MacBook Pro is a little bit of a stretch.
The current, as of 2016 MacBook Pro. Do they really? I mean, are there a lot of people that are going to buy like a Mac Mini or a MacBook Pro 13-inch and then connect it to a $6,000 monitor?
Minis, probably no. MacBook Pros, probably yeah.
Yeah.
People at high-end studios or whatever. A lot of them use 13-inch MacBook Pros for work and just dock them up to stuff at desks. Available in a week.
Wow. Wait. Did they come out with a cheese grater? Did I miss that part? Is something wrong with YouTube? Did you guys lose color too?
I was thinking that right now. I was like, it was seriously a choice to just show this entire thing in black and white.
Oh, now we get.
Okay.
Oh, he looks so sad in the empty cafeteria. No one wants to sit with him. Look how shiny that pole is.
That's definitely what they want you to focus on in this video.
Really polish those columns.
We're looking forward to seeing what you will do with these products.
Can't wait to see what you're going to create. Oh, you spent 12 hours on Twitter again. All right.
Yeah, that was more than expected. Oh.
They finally gave you more money, John Hodgman. Good work.
See, they're still strawmanning PCs as old, boring John Hodgman man with tie.
They haven't done that in a long time.
Branding themselves as annoying mid-2000s sweatshirt boy.
Did they make him shave for this commercial? I hope they paid him enough for that.
Yeah, this was, I expected the MacBook, and that was it. And then there was more.
Mm-hmm.
Neat.
Yeah, they're making a strong bet going to the Pro already.
Yeah, but only the 13-inch.
But and not the desktops.
No.
Yeah.
Well, like I was saying, they've only ever made chips with integrated graphics, so it'll be interesting to see what they do when they get to the real high-end stuff.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff here is big if true stuff. Mm-hmm. So, like
big if 5.
Big if 5.
If not really, if only 2. If 5.
Chaz was saying earlier before you got here, once people get into it, get into the chips and actually look at them and compare them to, counterparts and see how they actually perform, and we have testing to see what they do, as opposed to 5X, that's when things will get interesting. But
they're moving fast.
Yeah. And I just bought a computer, so I don't care what they do.